and then the block's clean, boiled out and everything. That plug right there, it's got like a Welch plug, but it's deep in front. It's a special plug. Yeah, it's tapered.
Which way does it go in?
Well, they
blunt in.
Yeah, blunt in. Now, that's a Ford. That's a Ford one. The 3 3/4 crank there. Now the Mercury crank, 4-inch crank. Most of them have got these 5/8 plugs here. See, same idea, but they're fatter.
And how do you get the plugs out? Drill them out?
Okay. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to show you how to drill them, tap them, and pull them.
Really?
Drill them and tap them?
So what I do, I take a drill and I'll drill a hole right through the plug. And I'll take a 3/8 tap, okay, and I'll run a thread in there. And I take this slide hammer right here, and screw that slide hammer in, back, pull that plug
Right out?
Yeah, pull them right out. But then I always take a screwdriver, stick it in there, and it's all full of slides and crap and everything in there. And I'll take even a wire brush and stuff, or I even take them to the cleaners, have them clean. Because I've got them back from the cleaners and still didn't get it all out good. So, I make sure that them are spotless. And then I put the new plugs in, drive them in, and I take a punch, a little chisel, and try to seat it, all around the edges there to keep it from coming out.
Well, that's what I got to do, because I'm just putting the crank in now. I haven't done anything to the passengers.
Yeah,
because I didn't.
It's an ABA motor.
Yeah.
But see, the 59s don't have that. They don't have no clean out hole. They only got one hole going there, just a straight hole. But these ABA cranks.
It's the 8BA, and this is where I told you I had to get it welded and reground.
Yeah, I gathered that on the emails, and I could see it all because I've seen it before. See?
What causes that?
Well,
clutch? Or?
Yeah, right. In fact, he asked me that, what caused it to wear like that. And you got to imagine that every time you push your clutch, you're pushing against there, you're trying to drive that crankshaft through the radiator. So it's pushing against that rear thrust all the time. Now, if the clutch ain't adjusted right, and the throw bearing is riding on the pressure plate, it's pushing it all the time. You're sitting at a street light and you got your foot down to the floor, you're pushing that crankshaft all the time, and sometimes you'll wear a thruster. I can see all that in my head when I'm driving, I come to a light, I gotta wait and kick it in neutral.
Oh, I've been, ever since you told me, I get it right in neutral.
Yeah. So don't ride the clutch anymore when you have to. It's just
adjusted with free play.
So I got to pick up 3 plugs to replace them too.
Well, if you're running an electric fuel pump, you have to block off that passage where the push rod goes.
No.
You don't have to.
No.
It won't just blow oil up.
Well, on the earlier engine, 59AB, that fuel pump push rod, there's no hole in it. You can leave that right out, and you'll never lose any oil pressure. Then I want to know, there's another little thing. How do these gears? People wonder how them gears in the back get oil. Well, the oil. This oil pump goes down in there because the oil comes out here, and this is all around. This sort of plugs the hole down there, but this is not tight. And you got 50 pounds oil pressure here. There's plenty of oil going seeping by here, and it's filling that cavity up about halfway there. And so there's always oil in there. The rear main don't have any oil pressure per se, like it does there. The main oil pressure going right to the cam bearing. The rear cam bearing don't have any line going to it, but there's plenty of oil. That's half full of oil all the time. I'll flip it over and show you. And So, and there's a slot here in the camshaft. That slot, the camshaft, the rear camshaft journal there. Well, this is full of oil back here. So oil's always running by here to feed that rear cam bearing. Plenty of oil in that rear cam bearing. But and that fuel pump push rod's right in the center there. This is where your fuel pump push rod rides, on this lobe right in the center here. And but there's no oil pressure if that comes up there at all. But now the 8BA engine, which is what this is, this 8BA engine's got a bigger bushing down in here than the 59 ABs. That's a 7/16 ID.
Yeah, the push rods are different.
Push rods are bigger. 3/8 in the other one. The other ones are thin wall bushings. They don't have any holding. But this bushing here, down about halfway, about that far down, there's a little teeny hole, less than a 16th, I think. And you can stick a wire down in there, a little right angle, and put in there. It lines right up with this main line, this main oil line here. So there's main line oil pressure kissing out that little hole to lubricate that 7/16 push rod, say. But if you left that push rod right out, you wouldn't lose any oil pressure. There ain't enough oil coming out of there to wiggle the needle on the gauge. But I like to plug them on these.
You just stick a bolt in there?
Yeah, just take a 7/16 bolt, stick it in there. It ain't going nowhere. Sometimes I'll put a little JB Wells and stick it there. But,
smack it a little bit with a chisel or something.
Yeah. And because if you don't plug it on the 8BA, that little teeny hole is just one in it, little oil mist, mist of oil coming up in here, which is more than necessary. It could suck up around the guides a little bit, so there's bound to be a little clearance in guides. So I like to plug the 8BA ones, but the 59 Vs you wouldn't have to worry about at all, period. And then if your engine's all together, I wouldn't tear it down just to plug it in either. Although you could pull the back off there and you could take something you could reach down in there with and stick a little, just to bolt in about that far. Don't have it a long one to go down right on the cam.
Well, and that ABA that I built, when I put it on the test stand, I told you I was getting the, I got a mechanical gauge, and it was flickering 60 to 80 just like that. And I pulled the pump, I cleaned it all up, I checked the spring in the ball. What would
Still doing it?
Well, I haven't put it back together yet.
Was that the only pressure release valve
on the ABA?
On the AB, because I had, my 59 had one up right up
That's
here.
right. But I use these pumps in all the engines.
Okay.
Yeah, I use these pumps. And that front one there, I'll put a few washers underneath there and stiffen that spring right up, see, so it don't even work, and I'll let it use this here. Because there's a little slot on the bottom of that ball down in there, anyways, that it's oil. And the cam gear will get plenty of oil coming around there.